Hey, Ben Pakulski for Watson, giving you guys an update on the new and improved vertical leg press. This is going to be the best vertical leg press that exists anywhere in the world for a number of reasons. I'm going to walk you through it. First of all, the reason a leg press, often a vertical leg press, is a terrible exercise is because the range of motion is very, very small. So if I put myself into a position of hip flexion where I'm coming down to basically 90 degrees of hip flexion, so I do this, and then I say, okay, well now bring your knee to your chest, the range of motion is tiny, except if I'm gonna round into my back. So for most people, a leg press that's got a fixed back position, a fixed foot position, ends up being a range of motion that's effectively 4 to 6 inches in length, which is useless to develop muscle. So muscle develops when it goes through a greater range of motion with resistance. So by incorporating the ability to adjust the foot pad and the back pad, it's basically like taking our body from this position to this position. Now that allows me to get a significant more range at my hip and a significantly greater range at my ankle. A lot of people lack ankle mobility, so when they go into the bottom of any machine, oftentimes their heel starts to come up, takes away from their ability to generate force into that pad. So the fact that we can adjust this foot pad and the back pad gives us significantly more range of motion while still keeping our lower back on the pad, eliminating injuries and increasing our ability to generate force. So our great friend Will Farprant here is going to jump in there and show you guys how it's done. Now, as far as where you position your feet on the pad, depends what you're trying to train. So if I'm trying to get maximum quad training, I'm going to drop my heels down really low and look at how much is my knee changing degrees. If I want to get maximum glute training, I'm going to put my feet up a little higher and see how much is my hip changing positions. So let's do quad dominant for this one, Will. Good, so he's going to put his heels as low as he can. Now, if I'm doing that, in my instance, I'm going to try to get this angle, this foot angle, as steep as I can possibly get it. It's not quite there now, based on where we've adjusted it. We could go a little more steep. That's going to allow me a greater range of motion at my knee. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get this back pad the steepest possible angle I can, because that's also going to allow me the greatest range of motion I can. And when you dump that back pad down, Watson's also thought through having shoulder pads there, which not a lot of machines do, which allows you to get that big steep angle and not roll out of the machine. Go ahead, Will. So the adjustments are in much better places than they used to be, and there's a great safety mechanism here for people concerned about, maybe getting buried under a machine. This one's going to be compensating for that very, very well. So Will in this position is thinking about keeping his lower back aggressively against that pad, not allowing it to roll at all, using his hip flexors to pull that weight, that platform toward him. And as soon as he feels his lower back start to roll, that's the end of his range. So you notice he's got, I don't know, maybe 18 inches of range there, which is significantly more than you may have otherwise had without being able to adjust that back pad and the foot pad. Now, as I said, we can go even more steep on that back pad and more steep on that foot pad. We'll actually give him a greater range of motion if that's what we're trying to do. So for you guys at home, whatever you're trying to do, adjust the machine to you. The greater the adjustability of the machine, the more opportunities you have to make the exercise fit you and your specific goal. Huge shout out to Watson for making this incredibly new design and making it aesthetic to upgrade even the most world-class gym.